It is a beautiful day once again in Patriots Nation. The skies are blue, the sun is shining, and on this night at the stadium where he dominated for almost 2 decades and 5 of his 6 Super Bowl campaigns were orchestrated, Tom Brady will be immortalized in the New England Patriots Hall of Fame. But as we gather today to celebrate the GOAT, I take you back a few years prior to March of 2020, following a year of consternation, jabs, infighting, news, petty commentary, and more. Talk to Mr. Kraft. Maybe one day I'll be able to run my own team. Many years after which Bill Belichick had tried again and again to replace the greatest quarterback of all time, the perfect man to orchestrate his scheme and run his football team, his brilliant and ruthless football machine, Tom Brady announces in March of 2020, in fact, March 17th, 2020, on St. Patrick's Day, no less, as we had all been shuttered into our homes at the outbreak of a global pandemic known as COVID-19, that he is forever a Patriot, except not really anymore because he's leaving the New England Patriots. He had asked for a clause in his contract the year prior saying that the Patriots could not use the franchise tag on him. He had begged for a bigger deal. The Patriots, of course, famously having negotiated smaller deals with him over the years, agreeing not to try to spend, I believe, more than 14% of their salary cap on a quarterback, a mistake that the franchise would regret for years to come as Brady leaves the Patriots, goes to Tampa, puts together a hell of a team on an already stacked roster, and wins himself a 7th Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The New England Patriots still to this day left searching for a quarterback of the future. Perhaps it'll be Drake May. We don't know. But as we begin this edition of the What If Wednesday podcast series on Six Rings and Football Things, I ask you, the listeners, and you, co-host extraordinaire Andy Jumbo Hart, what if Tom Brady never left the New England Patriots? Where would things have gone? How would things have played out? We already talked last week about all the ramifications of what if Mo Lewis had never hit Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady had never taken over September 23rd, 2001 as the quarterback of the New England Patriots. Well, what if Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft and Tom Brady all got together as they did time and again? Cooler heads prevailed. They negotiated and they kept Brady around on some sort of Drew Brees-like victory lap contract. 4 for 100, 2 for 50, a blank check style deal like Bill Belichick had for years, Andy. What if Tom Brady had never, ever left the New England Patriots and finished his career where it began with the NEP?
So there's a lot here, obviously. Lot of. Why do you have to tell me you love Tom Brady? I don't care if you love Tom Brady.
I'm putting in my lower third is I love Tom Brady. Yours is the truth is never mean.
Okay, so building off the truth is never mean. No, they don't win another Super Bowl. Tom Brady never wins another Super Bowl. We don't get the answer to the question of Belichick or Brady. The dynasty peters out on their own. They may make the playoffs in 2020 because they were 7-9 with Cam Newton. I'm sure Brady could steal a couple wins there and you might make the playoffs, but it would be a petered out playoff appearance, much like the year before.
It was 12-4 in 2019, I believe,
Not
sir.
really 12-4 though, because you take away the 8-0 and go to the actual record over the second half of the season.
It was 4-4. You had 8-0 and 4-4, so it's
12-4. Mediocre.
Why did that team? And by the way, why did that team? Was it a lack of weaponry? Was it like N'Keal Harry not panning out? Was it Edelman being banged up? Was it Brady being a sourpuss? Okay, yes. Okay.
All of that. Brady sulking. That is the era of which I dubbed him Sulky McSulk for the way he handled things. That's often happens with great competitors and guys that are emotional, that if it goes the wrong way, it turns into some McSulking. And it did with him. We know the playoff loss to the Titans and the pick six that ended everything and everything we went through after that. But there was this idea back then, if they just stuck together, this would be the 7 rings and football things. No chance. We would still be 6 rings. One thing that would not change is the name of this podcast. I think there's no shot in hell Everything else changes. We don't get Mac Jones. We don't get Cam Newton. I don't know when he retires. Gronk never plays again. So Gronk's going into the Hall of Fame, I believe, this summer, right? Because he doesn't come out of retirement. So his 5-year window has already surpassed. Like, that, so much changes. He might be running the Patriots now. Tom Brady might be a member of the front office. He's not buying a slice of the Raiders and looking to run them. Like, but the reality is that was a fading football team with fading talent. And I just don't know how you turn that around, how that would have, because Gronk wasn't coming back to New England. He wasn't coming back for a second serving of Bill Belichick's humble pie. Hell
that's
no.
what I was. That was one question I was going to ask. And by the way, had a chance to chat up the old Gronkenstein yesterday. Andy, first thing I thought was, holy smokes, guy, you absolutely could strap him on right now and get out there and give any coach 25 plays and probably a tutty every other week. He looks fantastic. Probably because
seems strong.
What's that?
25 seems a little
high.
high.
All right, 15 to 20 plays. Like, he could still be he's just so damn big. Look, I know, I'm almost 6'2", and I still have to have all conversations with Gronk with my neck craned up. He's such a
his hands are massive. And he could do what so many of these guys do and think they're actual tight ends. Yeah, I'm just going to go out there and run a couple routes and catch a couple passes where I body up a smaller guy. I'm not, no. Don't ask me to block anybody big in here. I'm not doing that crap anymore. He could absolutely do that a handful of times a game. No question in my mind.
The Gronk that Bill Belichick needed to help play offensive line. Like, hey, why was the offensive line was so good?
Joey got you. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You'd like him to strap what on?
Excuse me. Well, how do you say? Do you slap on your pads? Do you throw them on? Do you strap them on?
Oh, I know what you're thinking about. When your head is craned up at Great Gronk.
Please, with your little private detective hair. Shut up. All right. Look, Gronk looks great. I do wonder, though. That was one of the many first questions that popped to mind. Would Gronk have taken the 2019 season off like he did? Who the hell is calling me? Sorry, everybody.
Amateurs, effing amateurs.
Now you do a podcast where you don't turn off where you don't put your headphones in for the first time in forever. And now you get phone calls and text messages. All right, world, I'm busy. I'm talking to Andy Hart about what if Tom Brady never left the Patriots. Okay, so you don't think there's any chance Gronk takes 1 year off and comes back if Brady is still playing? Like, if Brady says, come on, take a year off, get your act back together, feel better.
Yeah, there is a way. So if we really want to take this to the extreme, make this the X version of What If Wednesday. So with Tom Brady coming back, Bill Belichick says, over my dead coaching body, and walks out the door. Now, Tom Brady is the quarterback of the Patriots, and Bill Belichick is no longer the HC of the NEP because he had a little temper tantrum because he didn't get his way. That would be where, Gronk will come back. Absolutely. If Belichick left, I think Gronk would come back for his boy Brady.
Ooh, okay. So let's say Kraft overrides Belichick one last time. Okay, there'll be no Garoppolo. There will be no letting Brady go. It doesn't matter. I just can't stand to see my other son let go. So Brady agrees to a new deal. Does Belichick, first and foremost, does Belichick coach in 2020, or does he walk out the door? Did we really reach that? It's either Belichick or Brady breaking point in the relationship, and who takes over as coach? Would it have likely been Josh McDaniels going forward?
Probably. I think at that point, the way they felt about him and Brady and continuity. Now, I'm not sure Bill would have called the bluff. I think Bill would have coached personally. And if Bill keeps coaching, then I think Gronk stays out of the mix. But if Bill walks out the door, yes, I think Josh McDaniels is the head coach. And I think Gronk, Edelman, Brady are the backbone of those Patriots. Now, the question is, how good are they? Does 7-9 turn back into 12-4? And remember, you said it earlier, this is during COVID and all the weirdness of that. How would that have played out? Because that was Cam Newton was the quarterback. Cam Newton got off to get snacks, and the team never took the exit with him. And when he got back on, the team was long gone. He couldn't catch up. It was like freaking Cars.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, all he had to do was catch COVID, miss a week, and the bus had pulled out of the station, and they forgot to pick up Cam, or so he told us. Now, didn't Cam Newton sign late June 2020. So we were
Yes.
left wondering if Stidham was
They
in fact the
love Jarrett Stidham.
love Jared Stidham. Yeah,
Apparently
they did not that much. They certainly didn't love him that kind. So anyway,
nobody loves Jarrett Stidham that way. He continues to just
I know now he gets signed by he gets brought out by Sean Payton to Denver, and now apparently Zach Wilson is running as the first quarterback for the Denver Broncos this season. That'll end well.
That's a kick in the nuts.
So okay, so maybe Belichick doesn't call the bluff, and maybe he coaches and Brady stays. And in the pandemic year, 2020, you have Tom Brady on a team, no Julian Edelman, or maybe Julian Edelman because
No, you have
Edelman
Julian. You have
well,
Julian.
yeah, you'd still have Julian, but at
He
what
probably
point
doesn't get hurt because Brady has the Miyagi special sauce, so Edelman doesn't get hurt.
Edelman was done by halfway through the season. He laid it
I
all
mean,
on the
what is
line in
he
that
now?
Seattle
The
game,
GOAT.
his best
He's got
game ever.
He's got the golden touch of the GOAT with him, so he wouldn't have gotten hurt.
But look at how banged up he was in 2019. Talk about being ridden hard and put away wet. That guy was broken. He was absolutely trashed at that point. Don't worry about it. So he would like Edelman. He dropped that pass in January 2020 against the Titans with like 5 minutes left that would have led the drive for the Patriots to get a field goal and likely win that game. Like
he has dropped
lift his arm.
Huh. Never hear about that. It's usually Welker people point to. Interesting.
Oh boy. Well, you know what? Actually, tonight when they're on stage, why don't you go ahead and talk to them about it?
By the way, what if
raise your hand? Hi guys, Andy Hart, WEI.com, Six Rings Podcast. I used to actually work for. No one cares. Okay, Jules, welcome.
Hey, Chubby. That's what I call Jules now. You see him? Whatever I lost from Awaken 180, he picked up and put on.
What are you now? How dare you? You're now body shaming Julian Edelman.
I'm not body shaming him because he looks jacked, but he's definitely put on some significant LBs, much like Vince Wilfork has lost significant LBs.
Although can confirm Vince Wilfork showed up yesterday.
Still leads with his belly.
A shadow of his former self.
His ankles and former cankles are tiny. He looks like Humpty Dumpty on like these little twigs now. But anyway, that's for a different topic.
Andy, one of our fans, Amstel54, currently watching this edition of Six Rings of Football Things live on the YouTubes, says, here's what happens. Brady never leaves. The offense still hits rock bottom because of bad drafting. So where does the frustration go now because of the fact that there's a lack of weaponry? Or does Brady do Brady things and use that Belichick and Brady mystique to lure some free agents to the Patriots during the COVID year and beyond?
And does he even need to? So we have our two scenarios playing out in our head. Belichick pouts and leaves. Going down that road, I think Gronk comes back, and you have Gronk, you have Edelman, you have James White, and Jacoby Myers led the Patriots in receptions in 2020 as a on-the-come, going to continue your trade today, on-the-come wide receiver who's developing.
My lane.
No, I think Myers and Brady could have been a really nice complementary combo. I think he would have loved Jacoby Myers and his attitude and ability to just get open and make plays, and he's clutch and all that. So, I think either way, with or without Gronk, you can talk yourself into having competent weapons with Tom Brady at the helm. Now, the young, N'Keal Harry was N'Keal Harry, is N'Keal Harry. He's now a tight end, whatever. That doesn't change. He stinks, whatever.
I don't think Brady's able to get much more out of him the next year, but it did take, actually, I'm not sure if it was a Damiere Byrd injury or what it was that led to Cam Newton basically encouraging, coaching up, and insisting Myers get out there in 2020, because second half of that season, Myers was everywhere. He was dare I say, almost unstoppable, and he credits his career to Cam Newton. Does Brady ever...
Did you say unstoppable?
Okay, he was excellent.
If you recall, one thing that did stop him was the goal line. He never crossed it.
Never crossed. Well, when you're wide open in the end zone against Baltimore and your quarterback skips it to you in the rain, as if you're playing some version of Gaga ball, it's not really your fault, Andy.
No, but I think Jacoby Myers was going to develop as a good quarterback, as a good wide receiver, and I think
actually he was developing as a good quarterback. He threw some beautiful deep passes.
He did.
You still had Rex Burkhead in 2020.
Gonzo Duke, it's not that he didn't like Myers when he had him in 2019. That was Sulky McSulk. That was Brady at his worst, at his low point. He hated N'Keal Harry. Him and Josh used to throw up hands at each other when N'Keal Harry was running routes and these guys were effing up. Myers, if Brady stays and isn't Sulky McSulk, He absolutely would have married Jacoby Myers. He would have loved
Right.
him.
If he wasn't the Incredible Sulk, if he wasn't Sulk Hogan, yes, he
Yep.
probably would have. Hey, do you think maybe if Belichick leaves in 2020, Brady stays, Gronk on retires, does Amendola say, "Oh, I still got a year of football left. I'll come back"?
I don't rule anything out. The allure of Tom Brady and the band and that whole idea. Now, I don't think it would have worked. I want to repeat that. I still think they would have made the playoffs and then bounced from the playoffs. I don't think they're
Yeah.
a Super Bowl contender. But you never know. I mean, it's tough to bet against Brady's greatness. So you're re-adding Brady to the mix here. I also wonder if we say he never left,
Okay.
when exactly did he never leave? And what I mean by that is, like, did they push him to the brink, but then he broke and came back with his tail between his legs? Or do they sign him to an extension the year earlier when he signed the fake extension that everybody like, oh my God, he signed an extension. And then everybody was
It's
like,
a
wait,
$70 million deal for Tom. No, it's like 1 for 15.
yeah. But if they signed him then to a
Yeah.
real extension before that season, I think his attitude, his effort, his energy, all my things are different that year and moving forward. So you get the real Brady, the
Ooh.
Brady magic. And if you get the real Brady and the Brady magic with Edelman and Myers and White, like maybe Amendola stays, as you said, like, I don't know. I don't rule anything out if you get the really fully motivated and invested Tom Brady, because we know that's the greatest winner in the history of our time.
And look what he was able to do once he leaves the Patriots. Ugh. I mean, we don't have to think about it
The
in that.
Bucks. Screw you, Bucks. Brady never came there. You're never relevant. You never won
Yeah,
anything.
that's right. You just
Bitches.
yeah, you who quarterbacks the Bucks in 2020? Do they hold on to Jameis Winston with all that talent?
No, they would
No.
have gotten some other journeyman. They might have gotten Cam Newton. Who knows?
Oh, jeez. There had to have been some available quarterback in 2020 who just would have thrown much fewer interceptions, but been able to exploit the talents of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, et cetera. But whoever that may have been certainly wouldn't have been as great as Brady. And of course, one of the Brady mystiques was the Tom Brady cologne, if you will. We always talked about the Patriot Way cologne, that Belichick Brady, come with us, you can win a championship. Brady goes to Tampa. He brings that championship aura with him. He recruits Lombardi Lenny, who inexplicably is released from his contract with the Jaguars at the start of the year. He signs a deal. He's their feature back all year. Great third down back as well. Gronk obviously comes out of retirement and plays 3 seasons with, did he play 2 seasons with Tampa, I believe? Yes, just 2. Yep. An injury marred 2 seasons, was not able to play in 2021 when Tampa came back on the famous Sunday night game against the Patriots with the 56-yard Nick Folk doink to end it. That was a thriller. Brady brought Antonio Brown with him. Antonio Brown threw a mountain bike at a homeowners association or co-op manager. Always a delightful human being. Stayed at Brady's place. Maybe Brady's able to recruit a couple better players to the Patriots in 2020. We're not sure exactly how long that run would go for. Andy, speculate rampantly, because that's what we do on these What If Wednesday podcasts. How long does Brady ultimately end up playing for the Patriots?
That, to me, was the next question. I say 2 years. I think he plays 20. They make the playoffs, plays 21. They're older. They're scuffling. They missed the playoffs, and he probably goes out then, although you never know with him, because a missed playoff might be well, I can't go out like that, so now I have to do one more year. But my guess is he plays 2 years. He retires. He's always a Patriot. But then we're going to get the conversation. Tom Brady might have something left. Should the Patriots trade Tom Brady and get some assets to help, much the way Red Auerbach didn't break up the big three and later regretted it and had trade opportunities that could have altered the Celtics timeline coming off that championship era. But I think 2 years is probably reasonable for him. The question I wanted to ask was, does this change his life? And what I mean by life is wife. And so they went to Florida, which she wanted. Remember, he had work-life balance. He was going out on the boat like late afternoons, that
She
kind
would
of
write
thing.
him letters that she would tuck into drawers and say, like, you need to be with the family, blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
Then she would go do jujitsu and tuck. What? I didn't say that.
I thought we weren't going to bring up Karate Champ in this episode.
So would he still be married or would he have gotten divorced faster? I'm going to say divorced faster.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Well, I think she wanted out of New England. I think she wanted him out of Belichick.
She never liked New England. I think she thought we were casual and basic up in New England and not her cup of tea.
I hate her. For someone I've never spoken with, I hate her.
Well, I mean, how about just not a fan or she's not my cup of tea?
Yeah, that plus I hate her.
For once in one of these podcasts, would you just please let us know how you feel about a particular topic that we're discussing? I'm just so tired of having to beat an opinion out of you. Jeez. Okay, so you think Brady gets divorced quicker. I was wondering if perhaps the whole family stays together a little bit longer as well, where they end up. Now, here's a scenario I could have seen playing out. Brady plays in 2020 and 2021. And then let's say he got that 2-year extension, the 2 for 50 Drew Brees style extension. They get back to the playoffs one more time, but no more Super Bowls. Where does Brady go? Brady's like, you know what? I got one more year left in me, 2022. I think that's when he leaves and signs a 1-year deal in 2022 to play for the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy stays as Mr. Irrelevant, a 7th-round draft pick, the final draft pick of the 2022 draft. He learns from Tom Brady. Brady takes the 49ers all the way to the Super Bowl in 2022. Brock Purdy learning from a legend. He then takes over as the plucky little kid with a heart of gold and a decent right arm in 2023. 49ers are set. Pats fans are more at ease because, hey, that's the team Brady grew up rooting for. That's his hometown team. So I'm okay with him leaving to play one final Montana-like year out for his favorite team. That jibes better than the whole like Tampa thing, though. To this day, we still see Tampa 12s in New England and those god-awful Franken jerseys, as I call them, with like half Patriots Brady and half Tampa Brady. If I see one person at the freaking stadium tonight at Brady night in a Tampa jersey or a Franken jersey, security, out.
That's a good point. All of you frauds would have not had the opportunities to show your fraudulency as Patriots fans. That would have altered as well. You people would have been...
just point of note, Your Honor. Andy has taken this past you people, and now he's started a new segment called "You Frauds."
Yeah, fraud alert, fraud alert. Just like your credit card, you get a phone call, fraud alert.
That'd be funny if there was on the Patriots app. If you were up, here we go. Our pal Pete the Animal Austin checking in about tossing people wearing Brady 12s tonight. I can arrange that. All right. Here we go. Our good pal Jay Lessard, who runs the Tampa Bay Patriots fan club. If you see anyone with a Tampa 12 jersey, send them my way tonight. I'll take care of them. Thank you very much, Jay. See, these are the good people. These are our people, Andy. These are who we need out there. That's the modern version of defending the wall, if you ask me.
Yeah. It comes up a little weak. It's not quite the same as it once was.
No, it's not quite the same as it once was.
So would we have had did Brady's star power increase going to Tampa?
Absolutely. And in fact, I think one of the great side notes to Brady's time as Tampa Tom was the fact that he was able to let loose a little bit more, that he was able to, cut it up and be whatever version of himself he wanted to. You watched all those Tampa Bay Buccaneers social videos, Tommy and Gronky and Brady always being available to do community. He was all over the place.
The pool
I
thing,
think in large part
their feet in the pool.
Mm-hmm. I think in large part because he wanted to, because he felt restricted in New England. So whatever, I don't know, like joy or, personality or, just true self that he felt like he was constricted from being or showcasing in New England, he was able to bring out. I think he was technically happier there for those 3 seasons, just because you didn't have the pall of Belichick, which made him so great for so long, hanging over him.
So I agree. He was free. He wanted to be free. He wanted to be more open, sort of living the life that some of the Patriots are now living under Gerard Mayo and the way they're approaching, their talking sessions with the media. Ramondre Stevenson, I asked him if he's close on a contract extension. Yeah, I think we're close. Would have never happened.
Oh, that gets him. He doesn't see another microphone for the entire season.
Correct.
That happens under
different
Bill
world.
Belichick.
So when Brady entered that world in Tampa with Gronk and all the sort of fun stuff, I think it elevated him, maybe even made him, he got drunk at the post parade boat.
Yeah, we don't
thing.
get Tequila Tommy tossing the Lombardi around on a.
I think that made him more likable for a lot of people. I think more people, and I think that led to some of this other stuff. We may never get the roast. Maybe he's not seen as quite that level. Maybe that type of a deal doesn't come together. So I do think his Q rating or persona grew and was embraced more on a global level because he left New England and opened up the Howard Stern. Remember, he did like 3 hours with Howard Stern that day.
Yep, and then
talking
he becomes
about everything.
And don't forget, he was not a national commercial pitchman to a significant extent when he was with New England. He had a couple ads every now and again, mostly just doing kind of off-season videos, occasionally Funny or Die or whatever. But he goes to Tampa. Now, all of a sudden, he's doing stuff for Hertz. He's now, an advisor to Delta. He's become like you said, he was on the cusp of, or he was a global pitchman. But I feel like the entire Brady brand, which of course has now been folded into No Bull, and of course
bankrupt.
The TB12s have kind of shuttered up a little bit. He became like a thing even more, and I think he was technically happier. So it probably in the long run is better for his brand, better for his happiness, not better for his marriage, better for his resume and career.
Better for his marriage. It was going to end sometime. No, it was going to end sometime. Like, I firmly believe that it was going to end. That was not going to end well. So might as well get the rewards of a 7th ring and, global stardom increase. And
there you go. There's a question for you, me, and anyone who's watching right now on Facebook, YouTube, or beyond, like our pal Joe McBride, who is going to Tom Brady Day and is celebrating his 25th wedding anniversary. Congratulations, Joe and Mrs. McBride. Would you trade a wedding ring for a Super Bowl ring, Andy?
Me? Is my wife listening?
Let's say you are the James Devlin of the Patriots.
Me?
Oh, man.
No. Especially not if I had 6.
6?
What if I'm like LaDainian Tomlinson or one of these guys that never tasted it, Phillip Rivers, Dan Marino, if I'm one of them?
All the people that Keith and I say are members of Club Marino, the guys that were great, probably deserved a ring, but never got one. And
how hot is my wife? How good is the relationship?
Yeah.
How's the sex life? Like,
all right. I mean, you could have just.
You asked me a question. I'm going to analyze it before I answer.
Should we retitle this Thinking Out Loud?
Yeah. That's what we do here. What if it's ... You just fill in the dots.
Oh, there we go.
Our pal Claire Cooper, I said no.
Across the pond.
Now, I didn't get how all the answers to all my questions. Is she super hot? Is she, sex drive cruising along?
People are probably regurgitating in their coffee cups at this point.
Now we're just having honest conversations. But the reality is Brady left, and now we're going to honor him on Wednesday night at July.
And that's the sheer facts. I would consider it as well. That'd be a tough call. Probably not, but also I don't know. There just is that something they'll tell you about once you get that ring. It's kind of like being put in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame or the ring? I guess we could potentially find that out this week as well with the Celtics. And I wrote up a piece yesterday for WEEI.com about, I tried to take your positive purview of everything is awesome in June. This is a great time to feel good about being a Boston sports fan again, as things have been so weird in this 5+ year swirl of non-championships, the lack of duck boats, the disappearing of the relevance and the superiority on the Boston sports scene. This is a great time to feel good about it all. Forget the Sox. Hey, the Bruins look pretty good. You got a goalie of the future. They'll be around for a while. Drake May, it's going to take time. We're going to turn that big old piece of country coal into a diamond eventually, we think. And on top of it all, the Celtics are surging for Banner 18. And on the same night that they play Game 3, Tom Brady is immortalized in the Patriots Hall of Fame and celebrated by 60,000 people at the stadium where he was the king for 2 decades. This, to me, Andy, doesn't feel like for all those people out there saying, how stupid are the Patriots to schedule Tom Brady night on the same night as Game 3? Folks, they scheduled this 9.5 months ago, for Christ's sakes. It's not like with international celebrities flying in all over the place, performing acts and more, not to mention hundreds of Patriots, they can just reschedule the whole thing because of Game 3. It has to happen tonight. But
international celebrities? Fitzy giving a little teaser.
We'll see. You'll see.
Shakira's coming?
Yeah, and her hips don't lie.
No.
Nor do I.
Tom Brady's lips lie, but Shakira's hips do not.
So you'll see tonight, this feels like a passing of the torch night to me. this is how we officially close the book on on that great time, and maybe a new era of Boston sports greatness begins. Now, it's not going to be 12 rings over the next 20 years, the same way that it was from 2001 to 2020, but maybe we just become again one of the best sports city. I mean, we're the best sports city in the world. We already know that, but maybe this is kind of one of those like, oh, I remember that night. I was watching Celtics on my phone. I had Patriots.com on my computer, and I had the Celtics on TV. I was watching both. It was a glorious night. Like this feels significant to me, and not like it happened by accident, Andy.
Yeah, you're talking about 20-year runs and lowering the expectations from 6 Super Bowl rings. I'm just hoping they win a game this year. Just one. I just want one.
I don't know if there's going to be a statue reveal tonight. My guess is no. However, Mike Cord's watching live on Facebook. I haven't heard. Is 12 going to be retired tonight? It has to be. I'm pretty sure they're going to retire 12 tonight. Like,
yeah, I'm
no
pretty
one's
sure
wear that. Yeah, I'm pretty bet.
Who would want to wear it? F you. You can't make me.
who literally? Who the hell would be like, yeah, I got that? No, you don't. Stop.
I guess the next Julian Edelman probably would. The next guy who just doesn't know when to say no and shut the F up, he probably would. But yeah, no, I'm fully expecting that number 12 will never be worn again. I mean, hell, if you're going to retire Bruce Armstrong on Bruce Armstrong Day, number 78, you got to retire number 12 on Tom Brady Day, I think.
What do they do, by the way, with 87? They should retire 87 because two of your best offensive players in franchise history wore the same number. I'd give it to both.
It's tough because you run out of numbers. I know it's the age-old thing. They've had discussions internally about unretiring numbers and just doing the traditional Ring of Honor type thing, and then maybe only Brady gets it. Because, when you go to camp with 90-plus players, and that's where you get all the doubling up of numbers and things of that nature.
I always love people getting all up in arms on social media when they see all those numbers in camp, Andy, and somebody invariably has 87, and they're like, that's Gronk's number. They shouldn't. Like, well, it was also Ben Coates' number before that. Right. And Ben Coates was pretty effing awesome too.
I would argue you should retire 87, but they already have whatever the number of numbers that are retired are, and you're getting on it's weird too. And if you retire 87, do you retire 4? I mean, he's the greatest kicker in the history of the game. He jump-started the dynasty. And if you retire 4, does it keep going? I would retire 12. You have to retire 12. He's the greatest player, greatest whatever. No one should ever want to wear that number again. It should be displayed. The numbers aren't displayed. They're in the hall, but they're not displayed.
Right.
12 should probably be displayed inside of Gillette Stadium as retired or whatever.
Yeah,
he should be the jumping off point for that. I was with you. I never understood the whole, look how the stage is set up. They're going to have a statue or something like, and I don't know why the Patriots would do that. I'd save that again for Tom Brady's statue day when we're 0-15 and need a little bump in attendance.
Yeah. Also, they got to haul that thing into the stadium, show it to everyone, then put it on a flatbed and get it out of the stadium. That's a pain in the ass.
Plus, I'm sure Belichick statue.
Here's my guess, Andy. I bet they're wondering. Maybe they'll confirm that there's a statue tonight, but I bet they're wondering, does Brady get his own statue, or should we do like a statue like the cover of the book, The Dynasty, that has like Brady and Belichick and Kraft all together? Like, do they do like a little monument park maybe?
I don't hate that idea. I do
like
think
Yankee Stadium.
The 3 of them were shareholders in the greatest dynasty of all time. Now, Robert is in a tough point because of PR and the way things have gone the last, 6, 8, 10 months, year. I don't know if because it
hasn't been his best year.
No, and then it looks like you're putting a statue of yourself up. But then, do you just say, well, we're gonna wait till I'm dead and then we'll let them put statues of all 3 of us up? Like it's a weird dynamic. I do believe you should have all 3 statues. I'm a big believer all 3 statues should be on top of the lighthouse, looking down upon the field for everybody to see forever.
Well, then you got to take the elevator all the way up there, and it's tough to see him. Like I think there's that whole plaza when you walk in now, where you scan your phone or whatever to get in, and I think there's room out there to create that monument park or something else fun for the kids to visit. Whether it's plaques, obviously, Brady's statue should be him pumping his fist. Belichick maybe with his arms crossed. Mike with the headset on, looking out into the field. Mr. Kraft just being Mr. Kraft, hands in pockets, smiling. Hi, everybody. If Gronk would get one out there, obviously it's him spiking a football. Like There's a chance for that to be like spectacular. Vinatieri's could be his with his arms raised, like when he leapt in the air with Ken Walter trailing him after he boomed the kick in Super Bowl 36. Like, I think it would be great. Anyway, a lot of different permutations, variables, and what ifs dovetail off of this week's What If Wednesday topic. What if Tom Brady never left? Here we go. Quick question for us Pats fans that live out of market. Will this be televised this evening, the Tom Brady retirement ceremony? The answer is no, it will not be televised. It was going to be televised on Peacock, or so I was told, but that ultimately did not work out, especially given that Mike Tirico, who works for NBC, is going to be the MC of this evening's affair. It will be streamed on all the Patriots socials, and you can watch it live on patriots.com, which means that a lot of living rooms, probably fan caves and beyond tonight, will be Celtics on the TV. And then you got the laptop with Brady up. Maybe you do a little Bluetooth speaker action. It should be one of those double TV nights, Andy, like when the Sox would be in the playoffs and the Pats were playing early in the 2000s. Like those were some of my favorite days growing up, or coming home to visit the fam, when you'd have like an October double TV Sunday. Those are the best.
So give everybody a quick teaser. I know you took part in it, and I know you can't say anything, but took part in a little rehearsal. Will there be a, by God, that's stone cold music moment? Will there be a wow moment that fans could expect to really kind of jump out their seat?
Yes. Yes, there will.
And when should I not go to the bathroom?
Somebody that significant will give you a stone cold at WrestleMania. Oh my God, I can't believe he's actually here moment tonight.
Okay. And should I not go to the bathroom at any point? Can you tell me when not to go to the bathroom?
There will be a number of panels. So there's this giant glorious stage in the end zone underneath where all the banners are. And so you'll have to sort of pick as you see what the run of show is, as different members of defenses, quarterback rooms, wide receivers, etc., get together for talkbacks, highlights, ribbing, jokes, and more. You're just going to have to pick one of those to zip off to the restroom and TCOB as quickly as you can. That said, you know what? Just, curtail I know you drink like 10 and a half of your 1 gallon stainless steel, water jugs every day.
It's Brady night. I have to drink more water tonight than any night.
He probably wants you to get lubed.
No, I got to drink water. The sun might be out today. I don't want to get a sunburn, so I got to drink lots of water because he told me that works. I could hit my head. I don't want to get a concussion. Drink lots of water.
Water heals concussions and sunburns and whatever. By the way, did we send Guerrero to Dallas to work on Porzingis, or is he still here?
I'm sure he'll be here. I'm sure if you look up Tom Brady's ass, there will be Guerrero. Okay. Where'd Fitzy go? He exited.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up installment number 2 of What If Wednesday here on the Six Rings and Football Things podcast. What if Tom Brady never left? Would Gronk have returned? How long does Belichick last? Does he even coach another year while Brady stays? Does Brady win another Super Bowl? How does it affect his legacy, and so much more? We agree that it probably was time, as much as it hurt. I guess we could also probably say thanks, COVID, for kind of tamping down our emotions at the time. We were all still a little concerned with, hey, can I go outside? Hey, what is this thing going to do? And hey, can I actually get groceries? So it kind of muted our response and disappointment at the time when Brady left. All things worked out perfectly in the end for him. Maybe not so much for the organization, but tonight everything is roses, sunshine, ponies, goats, and ice cream. Avocado ice cream, that is, as we immortalize Brady in the Patriots Hall of Fame, and his fans give a chance, or have a chance rather, to thank him and his coach properly one final time. All right, Andy, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
In a weird way, I'm glad Tom Brady left when he did. He left as a guy that took his team to the playoffs, and then he went and buffed up his resume. I know it was a very painful time, and this is a weird statement, but watching the two, Belichick and Brady, peter out together in New England, I think would have been in some ways more slowly painful than the swift rip the Band-Aid off divorce that we lived through.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, like, is it best to just rip the Band-Aid off, like you said, or to just try to grow old gracefully together?
It's like, would you rather die at 85 or live 8 more years but be crapping your pants every day? How about we just die at 85?
All right. Well, that was a sad sort of.
I don't want to.
No, yeah. What is it? What's that whole Neil Young? It's better to go out a star than to fade away, or whatever. However it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing the best I can, folks. It's still early. I'm not even on my second cup of coffee. Anyway, Andy will be there tonight. Tweet at him. One thing Andy loves is meeting fans and doing FaceTime, shaking hands, taking photos. As a fan of the people, he wants you to let him know where you are so he can come share the experience. I obviously don't like that. I like looking at my phone and arguing with people on Twitter, and that's what I'm going to be doing all night tonight. Actually, Andy, I'll be up on the main stage from 5 to 7 with our guy Deuce, who, of course, ascended to your position after you left Patriots.com. We'll be representing for the brand tonight as well. I'll see if I can sneak in a Six Rings and Football things mentioned from the stage tonight. Make sure you guys tell your friends, like, share, subscribe. Yes, answering questions. It was better to burn out than fade away. Thank you very much, Alex. Hey, appreciate that. Always knew the comment section can get you when they need you most. Every Wednesday around 8 a.m., we will be doing the What If Wednesday version of the Six Rings and Football Things podcast. Andy will have another quick cast today, recapping what goes on at day 2 of minicamp. Of course, it's technically day 3, but of course, the Patriots did a community outreach yesterday. Some radio hosts in town complained about that. Once again, proving we can't have nice things in Boston, and people will find a way to complain about anything in this region. For Hart, this is Fitzy. Thank you, Terp, for posting it. This has been Six Rings and Football Things. What If Wednesday number 2? What if Tom Brady never left the New England Patriots? For everyone at WEEI Odyssey and 2400 Sports, we thank you guys for tuning in once again and supporting the fastest growing Patriots fan community in New England. Good day. God bless. We will see you tonight at TB12 Forever Night. Go Celtics. And as always,